A little girl stopped the court with just a few words, and what happened next left everyone in shock. The courtroom was silent, thick with tension as Nia stood before Judge Callisto, her heart pounding. She was no stranger to struggle, but this moment felt different, more terrifying. The judge, a stern man known for his unwavering adherence to the law, sat behind an imposing oak desk, his sharp eyes locked onto her. The audience whispered among themselves, speculating on the outcome of her case. Then, in the middle of it all, a small voice pierced the silence. "I'm hungry. Can we get hamburgers?" Gasps rippled through the courtroom. Nia's 6-year-old daughter, Maya, stood beside her, wide-eyed and innocent, unaware of the impact of her words. Everyone expected Judge Callisto's signature scowl, his infamous reprimand. Nia felt her face burn with embarrassment. This was not just any courtroom, it was Judge Callisto's, where leniency was a foreign concept. Had her child just made things worse? The judge's brow lifted in surprise, but his face remained unreadable. Nia bent down, whispering quickly, "Maya, sweetheart, you can't speak in court like that." Her mind raced. They had rushed out that morning, skipping breakfast in the chaos of getting ready. Still, this was the last thing she needed to happen. Judge Callisto's piercing gaze shifted from Nia to Maya. His voice, unexpectedly gentle, cut through the heavy air. "Did you say hamburgers, young lady?" Maya blinked up at him. She nodded. "Yes, sir. My tummy's making noises." We didn't have breakfast. The courtroom, filled with seasoned lawyers, bailiffs, and clerks, had never witnessed such an exchange. A child, innocent and oblivious to the weight of legal proceedings, had just spoken to the most feared judge in the district about food. Nia's stomach twisted with anxiety. What would he do? Would he hold her responsible for this so-called outburst? She prepared to apologize, to plead for understanding, but the judge did something no one saw coming. He leaned back in his chair, observing Maya for a long moment. Then, with a slight nod, he gestured toward her. "Come here," he said. Nia froze. Was this some sort of test? But Maya, fearless and eager, looked up at her for permission. Unsure of what else to do, Nia gave a small nod. Maya skittered forward, stopping before the judge's towering desk. For a moment, there was only silence. Then, in a voice softer than anyone had ever heard from him, Judge Callisto asked, "Tell me, Maya, what kind of work does your mom do?" Maya's face brightened. "She works so much. She makes cakes at the bakery. Sometimes she comes home really late because she also works in a restaurant." The murmurs in the courtroom faded. The weight of Maya's words settled in. Nia, a single mother, was juggling multiple jobs, struggling to make ends meet. The judge, known for his rigidity, listened intently, his usual cold demeanor beginning to crack. Maya continued, "She works super hard, but we didn't have time for breakfast today. That's why I asked about hamburgers." Judge Callisto exhaled slowly, as if seeing the case in a new light. He turned to Nia. "Tell me, why are you here today?" Nia swallowed hard and explained, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. She recounted the frantic morning, the rush to get Maya's medication, the parking lot dilemma. She had parked in a handicapped spot, believing she would only be gone for a minute. But minutes stretched, and when she returned, a $200 fine awaited her, a fine she simply couldn't afford. The judge flipped through her file. "This is your first offense?" "Yes, Your Honor," Nia replied. He studied her, then glanced back at Maya, who stood patiently, her small hands folded in front of her. The entire courtroom waited with bated breath. Then, without a word, Judge Callisto raised a hand. The bailiff stepped forward, and the judge whispered something to him. Moments later, the bailiff left the room. When he returned, he carried a brown paper bag. The judge took it and handed it to Maya with a rare, almost imperceptible smile. "For your rumbling tummy." Maya's eyes lit up as she peeked inside juice boxes and sandwiches. "Thank you," she chirped, making the entire courtroom chuckle softly. Judge Callisto turned his attention back to Nia. "Miss Hayes, I have reviewed your case. While the law is firm, justice must also be fair. Given your circumstances, I am dismissing your fine." A stunned silence filled the room, followed by a wave of astonished whispers. Nia's knees nearly buckled with relief. She wanted to say something, anything, but words failed her. But the judge wasn't finished. He reached for a sheet of paper. "This is a list of community resources, childcare aid, job training programs, and support services for single mothers. I suggest you take advantage of them." Tears burned behind Nia's eyes. She grasped the paper with shaking hands. "I thank you, Your Honor." "Truly," Judge Callisto nodded. "No thanks necessary. Justice isn't just about punishment. It's about doing what's right. Double quotes. As the courtroom absorbed the gravity of what had just unfolded, something unexpected happened. Applause. A genuine, heartfelt response to a moment of rare kindness. Nia clutched Maya's hand as they left the courthouse, her heart lighter than it had been in years. News of Judge Callisto's unexpected spread beyond the courthouse walls. His reputation as a ruthless enforcer of the law now included a different narrative, one of understanding, of fairness. And for Nia, that moment wasn't just about escaping a fine. It was about something far greater, the realization that kindness could exist in the most unexpected places. What do you think? Have you ever experienced a moment where justice and compassion met in an unexpected way? Let me know in the comments below.